Right. This was the map we worked on last time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and so what I want to also tell you is in a situation where you still want to use a template, because
Okay.
if you start a new map afresh, it means that you are going to start arranging the title, the put up the north arrow, the scale, the legend. So in that way, what I used to do sometimes is if I have this kind of template that is okay working for me, so what I would probably do was to go ahead and just save as, remove the data, and continue with the existing one. So that's basically what I usually do. So that will save me the time of trying to put up the boundary, and as well as trying to like put up this and the rest of them, like as you can see. So it saves me the time of trying to make those edits. So in that, what I used to do is I can go file, save a copy. Now in saving a copy, you can select, you can see different size, that is a version, either 8.3 down to 10.7. So I'm using ArcGIS 10.8. So you will be able to save, you can save a copy, or I can save as. You can see save as. I will just save as, any of them that will work. So we're going to work on chloroplates with adding other features, point line and polygon. Yeah, so once this is done, I'll just click on save, and this, I've saved this and I have new name on it, so I can comfortably remove this data. So with this now, I have this template already here. So all I need is to add the rest of the data I want to add to it, and every other thing is good. So I will go ahead to click on add, and I am going to still select Nigerian state here, and that's automatically is added here. So I am going to the properties, and when I get to the properties, I'll go to symbology. Now I want to first group the Nigerian map according to the zones. So I believe you already know how to do that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I am going to add up this, and you can see there are different types of states. Now there are different ways you can get that done. One of the ways you can get that done is by grouping them here. Then the second way you can get also that done is, let me save this as a new file so that I will not so I am also going to save it as Nigerian states. So let me probably add one to it. Now I want to ask you, which way do you know how to group this into different way?
Okay. To group what, sir?
Yeah, how do you know what I mean by chloropleth map?
No.
Okay, chloropleth map are the maps. This is chloropleth map. Any map that come with trying to represent a particular feature using colors. Do you understand what I mean? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so example of a chloropleth map is a map of Nigeria showing the six geographic zone is a chloropleth map.
Okay, sir.
Do you understand what I mean now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I ask you, if you want to produce a chloropleth map of Nigeria geopolitical zone, how do you go about it?
Yes. I'll just I'll right click on the state I want to change.
Okay.
So I will click select.
Okay,
Then
so
create, I will now go to, like, I will right click on layer, like on the layer, then I will create a new, what's it called, a new layer,
Okay.
or and I will name it as that state. For example, Abia.
Okay.
I'll now go to the symbology to change it to the color I want.
Okay.
So
You
I'll,
go so you go to properties, right?
yes.
Okay.
So
And then
I will
you
now
go.
change it. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to follow what you're saying. What next do you need to do?
Okay. Symbology. I will change it to the color I want.
So I want you, how can you help me group it according to the states in Nigeria? Like, okay, let's start with Southeast.
Okay, is it like 36 states?
Yes, the 36 states. I want us to create a Choropleth
Uh,
map.
I click on Oyo, for example.
I should click on Oyo.
Yes.
So this is Ibadan,
This no Oyo is off here. Oyo.
somewhere here.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'll right click. Then
Okay.
I'll right click on it.
Okay.
Then I will select features.
Select features.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I'll come to layers.
You come to the layers here.
Yes. I'll right click.
Okay.
Then I'll go to selection.
Selection.
Yes. Then I'll go to create layer feature. The second to the last. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what else do we do after then?
And click on it.
Yeah, I know. So after then, it will create a new layer.
Yes. Then
Okay.
I will now change the name of that layer to Oyo State.
Okay. So my question is, if you want to group a map of Nigeria based on
Yes.
southeast, southwest, so is that what you are going to be doing?
Okay. So no, I can just go to selection up here.
The selection.
Selection under selection. Like all this file edit view, all these ones. Selection.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Then I'll go to select by it's not, I don't even know. Maybe select by location
attribute.
since it is many.
Okay. Select by location.
Yes.
Hmm.
Then yes, I'll do it from here, sir.
Okay. I want you to guide me. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I wanted you to guide me.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Hello. Network.
I
Hello, sir.
can hear you clear. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, so what will happen is, let me proceed. So that's amazing, and that is very, very great. Um,
Mm. And what I was saying is that you said to group it into what's it called, like all the southwest and all
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yes, we can do it under open attribute table.
okay,
Under attribute table. So under attribute table, we just pick those states. Like for example, Oyo State, Lagos, Osun State, Ondo States, all those states. We just pick them. Then, as you taught me, like we just create another table, I mean another column
okay,
for it. Then we can name it anything. So under it, we now be putting southeast.
So that's yeah, that's what I want to hear, and that is amazing. So that's the first way to get it done. Yeah, there are other ways to. Yeah, there are another way to make it done. Yeah, so the second way is by going to the properties, and then when you get to the properties, you now select the states. When you go to category, you now select the states by probably name one and add all of them. Now you could probably select Abia,
Okay.
select Anambra by holding shift.
Okay,
Select.
holding shift. Abi.
No, now when you want to hold shift, this is a different. I'm holding shift. I selected Abia and I'm holding shift. I want to select Anambra. This is the difference. You get that? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but when I'm holding a control now, I'm holding control. Now this is the difference. So I can pick in between, and then I can go to Ebonyi, then I can go to Enugu, I can go to Imo. I'm holding control. And once this is done, I can right click and say group. And probably I can tell this as southeast, for example. Then, now if I click apply, you could probably see that the southeast states are completely grouped. You can see here.
Okay.
Then I can also do the same thing, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, um, Delta, Edo, and which other state again. So I can group this as well and click apply, and you can see that these have already been grouped into that. I think it's remaining river states. So I missed out river states. So I can go look for river states, select river states, come back to these ones I grouped earlier, holding control, select it again and say group, and that's have completely been added to it. You can see the southeast here, as in southeast together, south together. So the next thing, you can also go to Ondo, go to Ogun State, go to
Oyo State,
Oshun, Oyo State,
Ekiti.
Lagos, right,
Yes.
and Ekiti, and then right click and say group.
Kwara State.
Oh, Kwara.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so you can see now that I have grouped. So we now go back to Kwara. So this is the kitty we grouped here, and we can go to Kwara State. So what is Kwara? Here, right click again and say group, and click apply, and then Kwara will be added to this. So you go up again, you select, I think, Abuja, no?
Abuja
Abuja.
is not central.
No, yeah, not central, have to be with Abuja, Kogi. So
I
let's.
think even Kwara State is not central. Kwara
Mm,
State. Yes,
yeah,
Kwara
so
State.
we can also do the same thing. I think if you want to remove Quara, you see you have already grouped Quara inside here.
Yes.
So what do you need to do?
Yes.
You ungroup them because you have grouped Quara into it, and that return these ones back to what it is.
How are we going to ungroup them?
You right click on it, you can see ungroup.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
ungroup
will right
values.
click, then I will ungroup. Okay.
Yeah. So you keep on doing the same thing until when you are done, and if you see, if you return back here, you can see that it have grouped them into different states. But the difference is that if you look at Akwa Ibom, you see that it is written them with the name of all the states together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you look at southeast here, go to the
Mm.
southeast, you will see that it wrote the name as southeast. Where is southeast? I think I renamed it as southeast. Yeah, so look at southeast here. You can see that it have written the name as southeast. So hope you understand the difference.
The difference between what?
Like why this one is showing southeast and this one is showing Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa and rest of them.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah, so
yes.
what I did is here, this is south south, so I come to under label and probably type south south. Now if you apply it, that will automatically replace the rest of order with south south, as you can see here. Is that okay?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes.
so this is the one way of getting it done. This is the one way of getting it done. Now the second way of getting it done is like we talked about last time. You go to the attribute information here, and then go to here, go to feed, and then click on add feed, and say, let's say Joe zone. Let's put it Joe underscore zone. Now it is going to be a text file here. Then I'm going to create the new feed, and that have added this to it. So all things being equal, so what I need to do is I'm going to clear this, and then I can go here. Since I know the name of the southeast, so The first thing I probably need to do is to label it so that I can be seeing the name since I am not familiar with it. So you can go there and group it. Then another way you can do it is our next class we are going to be talking about joining and relation. So we are going to be using joining and relation so you could see how it works. So I'm changing the name so that it will be the name I will understand here. You can see the names here. So I'll go here and select those states in south geopolitical zone as you can see. Then under the attribute information, you see that those states I selected is here. You can see it have been selected. Go to the field calculator. All things being equal, this is supposed to be like south, and if all things being equal, it's supposed to calculate and add south to it. So there is a failure during the processing. Check the processing result window. So it's saying that there is issue with the geo processing. So another way you can get it done is to start editing. And when you start editing, which is going to take us time, so you put south right, so you
Yes, sir.
can do control A
Copy
to
and
paste.
paste.
So
Okay.
you can just do paste it across them. Now to make it faster, you can just sort this only selected one so that you get only selected one up. Then you paste, and then you paste this. Now that is done.
Okay.
Then you can always save anytime you want to save. Then you return back again. The next one is the southeast state. So you go down there and then click here, select Ebonyi, Enugu, holding shift, and then select Abia and Imo state. Now all of them comes in here. You can now paste this, remove south and add east. Control A, copy, and then paste, paste, and you save that. We go to the next one. So have we discovered which state is in the north central? But let's start with southwest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now these 6 have been selected, so I can paste this, and it's supposed to be northwest, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'll paste this, paste this, do the same thing to all, and then this is saved. Then I think let's go to the northeast first. So northeast, I think they have, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, I don't know. Is Taraba in north central?
Taraba. No, no, no.
So how do we get? Okay,
But
so
northeast. Taraba is in northeast.
Taraba is in northeast.
Northeast, yes.
Okay, so let's me.
Taraba, Yobe, Borno, Gombe, Adamawa, Bauchi.
Okay, Adamawa Bauchi. Okay, so I'm trying to find correctly source where the state, like how the state is grouped, so that we will not be jumping up and down. Because even me, I don't know. Yeah, so we can group them based on the geopolitical zone. So in that case, we have okay, Boronu, we have Yobe,
Yes.
and together with Taraba,
Taraba,
yeah, with Taraba. So
Adamawa.
Sambodishi, yeah, this is actually, and Bauchi supposed to be together. So we have them in this part, and this is this is northeast. So we do the same thing, and then type northeast. So these are different northeast states. Then the next one we need to work on is the north central, and north central include,
FCT.
include FCT and Nasarawa,
Nasarawa,
Plateau,
Niger,
Benue,
Kogi,
Kogi, Niger and Kwara. So this is not central. So I put not central. I think I'm correct. So I will now generalize this with the rest. Now the advantage of this over the other one is anytime, any day you want to make change, it is easy. You just come to the attribute table and get it done once. But the other one, it is not that same way. So anytime you group, you have to affect the rest of other one, and if you ungroup, all of them get released. So that is just the difference between the other one. So I have this is not what, I think this is northwest. Yeah, so this is northwest. So I'm going to make this in all of them. So like I said, this is done, and then I can stop editing and then save it. And then once this is done, I can return back to this particular place and then go to the property, and I should be able to like change the symbology now by selecting the zones which I've created and add all of them, and I can click OK, and that is going to group it based on the distance. So you can see now that we missed out Adamawa by mistake. So I am going in to fix that up. So I'm going to fix that up. So what do I need to do? You can see now that Adamawa, I don't know where it is not here, but you can see now it's not here because it's so we don't have Lake Chad. Now if you go to the attribute information, you will realize that both Adamawa and Lake Chad have an empty space as related to zone. So that is why there is nothing, it is displaying nothing. So if you scroll down, you see that here, which is unknown, this is the Lake Chad, there is nothing there. And let's see why Adamawa does not have anything inside. It's like Adamawa is not part of the ones that have this. So we go here and look for Adamawa, which is the second one, and let's see why nothing is there. So it's supposed to be in the northeast. So I wonder why it does not change color. So let's fix that. So we return back to edit and then make this Lake Chad. And then let's go to Adamawa and check what is the problem. This is northeast, and let's arrange them alphabetical order, and this is northeast. So for all the northeast from Adamawa to, so there is definitely a problem around it because we have northeast, we have now 38, and this is not central, this is not east, this is not west. So I guess there is something I did wrong. Okay, I see. You see now that in Lagos, I have southwest, including the northeast. So that is where the problem is coming from. So if you look here, you see I have a lot of southwest, which I don't supposed to have. So in that way, so let's go and fix it up. This is northeast. So I'm copying this, and then I am returning back to the northeast state. So I am going to get this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So to add it to the northeast, so I will click on this, I will return back to this. So this was the problem. So I was using north southwest in this. So this was the problem. So I'm going to stop editing, and then I'm going to save that. So this is generally the map of southeast, south, and the geopolitical zones of Nigeria. So this is the first way you can do it. So the advantage of this is than the other one we're using is that at any point in time you want to make changes, it is easy for you just to come here, select the geopolitical zone and say add all values. You see, if you click apply, that's automatically gets that fixed up for you. So this is the advantage of it over grouping that we were doing, like the way we were doing it before. So this is faster. At any point in time you want to make change, you can just come to this and then select and fix it up. So this is the fast way and this is the best way to do it than compared to the other one. So if I remove this and I click apply, you can see the rest of the state will go. If I want to remove North Central, I can remove it and I'll click apply. The North Central will go, remaining the other state that is here. So this is the first way of getting it done. Now I'm going to add all values and I want to arrange them in alphabetical order. You can see now that these have assumed its alphabetical order. So if I click
So
apply,
how can we arrange them in alphabetical order?
yeah, by default it is by alphabetical order. But I want to say, let me take for example that somebody asked you, told you that you need to make this map in the legend, because whatever we do here, if you go to the legend, you see that these have automatically arranged based on this, as you see. But maybe somebody asked you that you need to make North Central first, put Lake Charge
Okay.
down. So what you need to do is go to the properties here. When you get to the property, now what you need to do is, if you ask you to put a lake chart down, click on the lake chart, take lake chart down like this, using this, and lake chart will come down. If you click apply, you go to the attribute, you see that lake chart is actually down right away. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so this is where you can do it, and at any point in time you can edit this. Now, this is just generally, basically, what you're going to do in creating the choropleth map, any type of choropleth map. So you can create the zones or create as use any features you want. Once you make it, you create a field and able to group them in this. So at any point in time you want, you can just come and select it and then put it up there, and that's automatically put it this for you as the zones. Now when that is done, so the next thing we are going to look at is, I am going to zoom close, which is this. And now I was telling you something that I'm going to tell you about bookmark. Now, if you look at this now, you see that completely the size, the scale of Nigeria have been affected. So it's have actually changed. Now, if you look here, this is go back to the previous extent. This is go back to the previous extent. This is a different way you can go back to the previous extent by clicking this. Now I am trying to get back to the extent which we started before, which I think this is the extent we started. Now what I want to say is that you can do what we call bookmark. When you come here, you can see bookmark here, and you can say create a bookmark. So let me write it Nigerian view, and I'm going to click OK. Now what it means is that at any point in time, I want to zoom close to Lagos here. You see, I am close to Lagos or Edo states. Now, at any point in time I return back to this, you can see what happens here. You get that? So it means that I have to go back to where I am, which is trying to change the scale. But because I have bookmarked Nigerian view, so all I need to do is to click on Nigeria and the map will return back to that view which I saved it. Is that okay?
I did not get it.
Okay. I am trying to tell you, I told you last time I'm going to tell you about bookmark.
Yeah.
Yes. So I am saying, assuming you are walking and you see that if I turn this thing like this and zoom to Lagos State, this is Lagos, right?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
if I zoom to Lagos and I return back to my view, you see what happened.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
yeah, so it means that if I want to see Nigeria map again, I have to start going to change the scale or returning back to the scale view.
Yeah.
So I have actually bookmarked Nigeria so that at any point in time I click on Nigeria like this, it will take me to this zoom extent
Okay.
by default. So this can
Okay.
this can be applied when you are working on different data sets. Let me give you example. This is Abia State, so you are working on Southeast, and you always visit Southeast maybe to make edit or visualization. You can just zoom close to Southeast like this, and then go to bookmark, create bookmark. You can type it Southeast like this and click OK. Now you can also go to the Southwest, for example, to this extent, and you can also create bookmark and then you type it Southwest, whatever name you want, and you click OK. So what it means is that while you are working and then you just want to return back to the Southwest, go to bookmark, click on Southwest, and that takes you to Southwest. Did you get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So if I want to go to Southeast, I go straight to Southeast. And if I want to go to Nigeria, I return back to Nigeria size. So I don't need to zoom. So that automatically take me to where I am working on. So this happens when you have a lot of
Okay.
data sets, you are interested, it can be point that you always want to fix, you always return back to the place, or there is need for you to make such kind of bookmark. You see, I am in Southwest now. I don't need to start zooming. I don't need to rotate to get to Southwest. When I want to go to Southeast, I will click on Southeast and that takes me to Southeast. Now, this is how to edit it. You can see now that Southeast is not fitting in well. If you check Southwest, you see Southwest is fitting in perfectly. And Southeast is not fitting in well because part of Abia State is cut off, part of Enugu is cut off. So what I could do is to zoom out a bit to that extent, which is okay as you can see. I'll go to bookmark, go to manage bookmark, click on Southeast. You see, right click on it and say update extent and close it. So at any time again, you can see now if I go to Southwest, good. If I click on Southeast, you see it takes me down to what Southeast is. So automatically, this helps me in making pure fittings without stress. So this is the way bookmark work. And you can bookmark as many as you want here, and then you can manage where you can rename, where you can update, and where you can remove. You can also update by this is moving down, Nigeria comes down, and this is moving it up if you want to move it up. So these are different ways you can update. You can pan to, you can zoom to, you can pan to. So whichever way, if you click on Southwest, you can zoom to, you can pan to. So this is pan to and this is zoom to. So this is the different ways you can manage this. So this is all about bookmark, and you can change the color anytime you want to change it. So this is not only applied to Nigeria map, this is applied to the project you are working on, either Nigeria map and rest of them. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's now proceed to adding other features. Let's proceed to adding other features. So I am going to be adding features like the game reserve in Nigeria. So I am going to go here and let me add airports. You can see this is the airport in Nigeria. So I want to add the airport in Nigeria. I can also add, let's say, the game reserve in Nigeria. So I can go to all the game reserve in Nigeria, which is like a point, and you can see these are different game reserve in Nigeria. So this is airport, and this is the game reserve in Niger State, in Kwara, in Adamawa, Taraba, Bauchi, as you can see. So if I want to get that done, so I can change the symbology, which you already know. So let me type like something like game to look, search and see there is nothing like that. Then let me also type reserve. So I want to look for a unique symbology that match game reserve. So you can see parking reserve and rest of them. So if this is what I want, I can click apply and that's automatically apply that to each and every of them. So the next thing I can do is I can also add the Nigerian Railway. So this is Nigerian roads, this is railway. So I can add all the railway as it is in Nigeria, and you can see the railway running from this side down to the other side. You can see this is the railway across Nigeria, the way it's as the one that is updated. Then I can also add the waterways. So let me go and add the waterways. So this is the Lake Chad. Now this is the major rivers in Nigeria. This is the water in area, water, and then this is different water. So I am just going to select four of them and add them at the same time, so we sort them out when it comes in. So now this is the Nigerian waterway. So let's start with the first one. This is the waterway, as you can see. Then this is the major river. This is the major river. So I am going to remove the major river, leaving this major river because this captured River Niger and Benue. You can see here. This is River Niger, well, Anambra. This is the water body, where the water body are lodged. Now this is the major rivers. Let me turn this off. So the major river, I'm going to remove this because it have also been added here. Then I am going to show, this is railway. We're okay with railway. Now if you zoom close here, you can see River Benue, River Niger. So this is on this particular layer. So for me, the layer have been so there. I'm going to remove this. Now remaining this one. So this is the one I am interested in. So if I turn on this layer, you can see the water bodies as it is in Nigeria. So this forms in the water body across Nigeria. So this is a way you can add all this river railway. The southeast, that is the geopolitical zone. So I can click on this and add the railway. Now in railway, are we still together?
Yes.
Yeah, so I can add this as a railway. I can change the size, whatever, whichever way I want to do it. You can see the railway. And in waterway, I can also change this, maybe the size to 0.1, and I'll click apply, and that is going to bring it to 0.1. And I want to make it a little bit of blue, which is the water body, like river here, which I still want to make it 0.1. And then we have this here. Then the next thing is the waterways supposed to be in blue. So if I want to make it in pure blue, I can make it up like this and click apply, and that's going to show me the major rivers as in blue. Then if you turn on these layers, that's going to show up like this. So I could actually make it look visually appealing, and by making it look visually appealing, I can decide to remove the outline here, so there will be no outline. And when I click OK, that looks better. Go to the property. For this particular one, I can decide now to make the setup, the transparency to look a bit. So if I go up here and make this 50% and click apply, you could see that this looks a bit fairer than what it is. So I can have something that looks like this. Do you understand what I mean?
Sir?
Did you understand what I mean?
No, the transparency part.
Yeah, I'm saying that I made the display, the transparency, by changing the percent I want it to be. You see right now that I
Under
have,
where?
yeah, under display.
Okay, under
So I'm using 50%. Zero is no transparent. You can see it is full. It is not transparent. Whereas 50 is that it should be half, like half of it should be transparent, as you can see. Then
okay.
if I make it 80 and click apply, you see that this is 80 transparent, so you choose how you want it to be displaying. Yeah, so I make this look like this. So whichever one that is more important to me, that's what it is. So if I remove this, this still shows the waterways in Nigeria as it is. So you can make this look up like this depending on what you want to do. So this is basically the water bodies in Nigeria and the railway. So whichever way you want to make it look, that's left for you. Yeah, that's left for you. Now, that is by this. So the rest of other this thing, like I said, if you return back here, it have helped you. You don't need to start setting up the rest of other things again. So I'm going to click on Nigeria and it will fit it into Nigeria. Now, if you look here, you see that the game reserve have been added. I didn't take my time to start designing the legend again. I didn't take my time to
Exactly.
start making this, changing this. So if it is a smaller state, for example, I want to zoom close to Anambra State. Let me use Anambra State as an example. So maybe any state I select, Enugu State. So I am going to zoom to selected. So I'm going to the attributes table and then I'm going to zoom to Enugu. So I'm going to zoom to. Now, when you zoom to Enugu, for example, if I'm talking about the layer you're using, you see now that Enugu is fitting in here. But you can see here now, you could see that the Nigeria, the grid is no more in alignment again, as you can see here. It is out. So what do you supposed to do in that case? Because I told you if you don't want to waste your time trying to do this again, you could save as, remove all the data and add the new ones you need to add. So what you need to do simply is go to the properties here. When you go to the properties, which is the layer you're working on, under grid, you can decide to say here, you see you have this graphical here, as you can see. Now you
Yes.
can create a new one. And for me, I'm going to make this because I'm working in Enugu. So I'm just going to make it in Enugu and click OK, next. So let me keep on clicking next, next, next until I'm done. Now, if I turn off the first one and then click apply, you see that that is going to give me the graphical for Enugu. You can see this. So let me go and modify the Enugu on. So I'm going to still retain, let me leave it by tick, go to the axis. This is okay label. I'm going to change the label down to 12. Turn this orientation, turn this, and I think the labeling is okay for me. So I'll click apply and I'll click apply here. And you can see that this particular one is, let's say this is okay for Enugu map, as you can see. Now, what do I need to do as related to Enugu? Because I am interested in only in Enugu. So I can decide to blank off whatever that is here, depending on how you want it. So I can select only layer and leave Enugu. Now, in that case, this is where query definition works.
Okay.
Now, look at what I'm going to do. Let me use this. I'm going to teach you, we're still going to talk about the query where you make select by attribute and rest of them. But let's talk about query definition here. So I can build a query here and I will say that I only need the name one that is equal to Enugu, for example. So if I select Enugu now, and if you verify this, you know that it is true. If I click OK and click apply, you see that all other layer is going to go except Enugu. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah, so it is, all of them are there. But if I want to remove Enugu, I can also still build the query in such a way that that is not Enugu. So if you remove this and replace the query with this, so you should be able to have the one that is not Enugu. So if you verify, you see it is working and you click OK, so it is going to show you all other features that is there except Enugu.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Okay.
This one is under you went to selection
No,
or you
I'm
pick selection by attribute.
no, I am in properties, layer property. I am in
Oh,
definition query. So we are going to talk about, yeah, we are going to talk about this independently. It is a
definition query.
yeah,
Wonderful.
definition query, yes. So this is a way you can build a query and able to still retain like the data, but you give it instruction on what it is going to be there. So as you can see here, I say Enugu, I can say or, I can still say name one that is not Ebonyi State, close one which is Ebonyi State. Now, if you click on verify, it will tell you successful. If it is okay, if I click apply, you will see that Enugu and Ebonyi, based on what I build, will go any name that is this or, and then you can also do and. If you make and, you see that this thing is not going to be successful. The reason is because, okay, this is successful because it have to check a name that is Enugu and. So now what happened? Enugu and Ebonyi decides to go.
Okay.
So you see now the map, there is no Enugu and there is no Ebonyi. So what I'm just trying to say is,
Okay.
uh,
And means the two will disappear.
yes, we are going to talk about the relationship between and, yeah, because our next this thing is going to be special. That is, we are going to be doing joining and relations. Then after that, we are going to be talking about using data, how you can access each data by probably building a query, different kind of query definitions, so which we are going to be doing. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I am going to show you that, so that if you want to select the data, you understand the difference between this is equal to this. We are going to be using all this. You know what is standard structured query language?
Yes, sir.
SQRS. So we are going to be using that. You use that in working on relational database. So we are going to be using that, and I'm going to show you how you can build a query, select from where, and then use this in order to do definition query or selection, where you need to select by attributes and then do those things. So this is basically what we're going to be doing. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will be returning back to explain what I'm seeing. So I'm going to remove this query and I'm going to click OK so that Enugu can come back. Yeah, Enugu and Ebonyi is back. So what I'm saying is that if you look at this, you see I have a new layer, a new properties for Enugu. So if I return back and I say zoom to Nigeria, you will see automatically that this is going to be small. You see how it is looking, it's not looking nice. So what I can do is return back to the layer and then turn off the Enugu, turn on this, and then click apply, and that replace the other one that I was using. Did you get that now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so basically you have already known how to use, like bring on these points like this. So as related to vector, we we have done edit on the attribute table. So at any point in time you want to do attribute table editing, you could probably do that. So basically know that we have used under symbology, which is Nigerian states. We have used the first one, which include the features where you need to put up the features like here, the symbology here. We have used the features where all of them are the same thing. We have used the category where you select the particular one you're interested. This is for unique value with many. So this is unique value with many, maybe where you need to work on with population as related to the data. So if I click apply, you see that it is now showing me the map of Nigeria based on population. Did you get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is based on the many, that is unique values and many field. So I can select another one. Maybe if I want to also use for shape, you see, add all of them. It is going to put Nigeria based on the zones, the UTM zone, as in, sorry, the geographic zones, the
Geographical,
population, and then yeah,
geopolitical.
so, and if I click apply, that's going to display the map based on the geographic zone, based on the unique values and many field. Now that is that. For matching to symbols, that is match to symbols this, so you can match it with the symbols here, you can see. Then it's going almost the same thing with this. So you put it up with the symbols you want to match it. So which you can also, this is A3 style. Then this is where you can also browse for the symbol, the kind of symbol you want to set it up. Then this is for category. So we are also going to be talking about graduated colors, and the graduated colors only works on values, and the values which include the population, something like population. So we are going to be working with that. So we're going to use join and relation to do that, where we could work on Nigerian maps and then group them based on the population, and also as well as bringing external data, join and relate them, validate them to see if it is what it is. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I think this is pretty much of it for today. Do you have any question?
No, sir.
You're good.
Yes.
Okay. So do you have all these datas?
No, I don't have it.
Okay. So I'm going to share with you the link where you can download the game forests, the airports, the waterways, the railways, and you could use that to produce the map I want to produce. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so remember, I didn't change the topic, the title, sorry. So I am also going to make changes on the title. So make your map appealing by selecting the colors you want it to take. And if you look here, you see I have geozones. You remember how I told you to remove this if you don't want to keep it there? So you always go to the properties, and when you get to the properties, click on the Nigerian state, right click, go to property here, turn off this heading and click OK, and that's going to remove this from it. Then you can also reduce the size by dragging, and in this part you can take this up a bit. So this is where you can make it. Then you can also check by like the way, so you change the name, so maybe the map of Nigerian geographic zone. So so you can put up the title the way you want the map to look, and then prepare it the way it is. So but the whole thing is, number one, at any point in time you need all the waterways in Nigeria. You can say I can turn off this, and this is showing me purely the waterways. I can turn off airport and the game reserve. So this is a patch where you can see the Nigerian map showing you all the waterways in Nigeria. So you can choose to put the Nigerian boundary on it, the layer one, and then remove the zone. So whichever way you want it. So but what I want you to do at the end of the day, so help me produce the maps that looks like this. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So do you have any question, or we can end it here?
Yes, sorry, sir. How do you turn off that? Like there is one something like all this thing like unwanted stuff in Legend. He said you are going to rescue.
Okay. Yeah, what I did is, if you don't need those, it have title.
Mm,
Yeah, let
yes, sir.
me let me zoom up to here. So I'm clicking on it. I'm going to the property,
Okay, okay, makes sense.
and here, you know that Nigerian state have these properties here. So
Yes, yes.
if I turn it on like this and click apply and click OK, you see that it automatically pick up the title of the
The
layer.
show heading now.
Yeah, the
Show
heading and
heading.
yeah, so go there, right click on it, go to properties, and you see that you see here show
Show layer name.
and then new layer. So
Okay.
and also remember that here this is override default patch. Now what does it mean? You see the way it is here, you can create your maps to show you different patch. Like you see the way I'm using this. If I click apply, that brings into this. So
Okay.
if you click on the Nigerian this like this and select this and say select this particular way you want the line to be or this to be, and then you say okay and say override the default patch, it means that you can make each layer show you circle, another layer of shape show you let me
Okay.
yeah, let me give you example of what I'm saying. This is the waterway. You see now, this is showing us circle, like ellipse.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is also showing, this is showing us a curved rectangle. So it means that if I don't want them to show this, so always go to the property here. When you get here, go to property here, and when you click on that particular layer, go to properties and say overwrite the default patch. Once this is done, you see that both ladder line, depending on whatever that is in this layer, is going to change. So if you want to make it like this, you see now, if because I say override the default patch, you see the way this is showing.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying now? So this is basically how you get that done. So once this have override the default patch, it goes that way. But if it's not overridden, it is going to come to default patch, and that default patch is this one here. This one here. This is the default
Okay.
yeah patch that is, so this particular one here. Now one more thing, you see the Nigerian, let me say this name is too long. You can see how long this name is. So and there is a name it will be over like jumping. You see now this thing have exceeded the line here.
Yeah.
So use wrap tests. When you click on wrap tests, you see it will wrap the tests. You see what
Okay.
happened? So it's going to wrap up the test, and then if I change this thing by 2, let's say 2, and let me click somewhere else so that I can click apply, we see that it is going to place this thing like this. So I'm going to change this thing to 200 here and click apply, and you see this comes in like this. So we are going to use this well when we'll be working on a layer. So you're going to understand it very well, because at some point in time you realize that the name you are working on is really jumping out from what you are doing. So you use this wrap test to bring it like bring part of the this thing down. So at here, this is exactly where you can be changing the values you want in order to wrap the text in the legend like this. So if you click OK, you see that if you bring this up a bit, you should be able to see, you see what I'm saying? So it is wrapping up the tests instead of cutting. So you can see northwest, southeast, south, south, instead of it being in one line. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So that is achieved using the wrap test here. So if I turn it off and click OK, that's going to return it to default, and that's lazy jump across this. Yeah. Yeah. So I think this is pretty much of it for today. We'll keep in touch.